Hey yo, it's Hit Boy, and you tuned in with HotNewHipHop. Trust the process. I've been knowing Nipsey for a long time. I worked on Bullets Ain't Got No Name, Volume 2, and I did a song called Thuggin' featuring Boozy with the homie Chasing Cash. So I've been knowing Nip for a long time. I did a song called Hunted the Show with him and Rick Ross a few years back that people fuck with heavy, but the latest song, Racks in the Middle, his last single ever, like just us kind of getting back in the groove of things. We didn't work for a couple years, you know what I'm saying? We didn't even had no real contact, but the day we linked up, like I played him the reference for Racks in the Middle and just the way he responded to it, like it's playing out like a movie, like in my head, like every day damn near. Basically like played him the song because I wanted him to hop on it for my album. And when he heard it, he was like, he told me to run it back. And the second time he heard it, he was like, yo, I need this for my album, because Nip was just like a more thought out person, you know what I'm saying? Like he would take time, work on a body of work, then figure out the plays. But soon as he did Racks in the Middle, the next day he like, this shit coming out, you know what I'm saying? So it was just different for everybody to see that. And you know, it kind of just is crazy how everything panned out. Like his urgency to put the song out and for him to pass away, like it was just meant to happen, because he said the label even tried to discourage him from dropping the song. So for it to, you know, be out and people to be, you know, respecting it and that's their last memory that I was able to be a part of, like that's just crazy. I worked on that beat with the homie Roger. He gave me the chord breakdowns and I arranged everything in the intro and then kind of just turned it into, you know, what you know as the intro to Sicko Mode. But I played the beat for Travis like one time when he was at my studio and I hadn't sent it to him yet. And I worked on a song called Way Back that was on the Birds in the Trap album. I produced that song with Roger as well. And basically, the night Birds in the Trap came out, Travis said he had a big session. He was like, you gotta send me something crazy. And the Sicko Mode intro was one of the joints I sent, and that's the one Drake chose to hop on. So basically I just had to hold on to that joint for like 2 years and shit. So that was kind of crazy. Travis is like the homie for real. Like I know, like Travis was at my mixing session for a song I put out called Jay-Z Interview, which was my favorite, my first rap song I ever dropped. Like he was at the mixing session. Like nobody knew Travis. Like that was the first time I had met him, heard of him. He used to pull up to my crib in the valley, like in a 2-seater Jeep with like 3 niggas, like couldn't even fit. So like I know Travis, you feel me? So to see him blossom and, you know, become the person that he is and still, you know, reach back and want to fuck with a person like me, like, I just fuck with the energy. Shit, working on the BEYONCÉ, her self-titled album, that was like a crazy process. Like she flew me out to the Hamptons to stay in this big ass crib with an arcade and all type of wild shit. I actually had my studio set up in the arcade, like, so that was insane moment for me. One thing I can't remember is like some other sessions we did for that album. I was over in like some country part of the UK, like way out the way, and I was staying like at a hostel, so like there was no lights on the streets. I would walk from the hostel to the studio where we was at, which was about a half a mile down, and I'm talking about it was like some Blair Witch Project. It was dark, like it was creepy out there, but it was worth it because it was Beyonce. I was working on 24 Hours project, Houses on the Hill. I produced the majority of that. I saw Meek out in the parking lot. Everybody was like shooting, like it's a basketball hoop in the parking lot of the studio. Saw Meek, just chopped it, you know, told him welcome home and shit like that. And I just gave him a pack of beats. I went and played him some beats and he was vibing. He started freestyling the shit, but I just left a pack of beats and next thing I knew I had 100 Summers just by seeing Meek in the driveway of the studio. First time I ever worked with Kanye, I flew to Abu Dhabi, like 16-hour flight. First time out the country. Mind you, back then, like I had to lug a bunch of equipment around. Like I had a big ass 61 key Roland Phantom. I had a desktop. I had the screen to the desktop, and I had a, I think it was a Digio 3. Like I forgot who it was by, but I was lugging all this shit around. When I landed, I looked at my suitcase, my fucking desktop was all cracked up and broken up and shit like that. So mind you, I'm waiting on my ride And all these dudes, you know, it's like this Middle Eastern country, they keep offering me rides to go where I'm going, and I'm like, nah, I'm not leaving with nobody I don't know. So I waited till Ye sent like his assistant at the time to come pick me up. Drove out to the Emirates Palace, all gold and shit. They had set up a studio, and Pusha was there, and Ye was there, and a few other people, and I just started playing beats, and they was going in. Like, we pulled up the Niggas in Paris beat, trying to give it to Pusha, and he passed on it at the time. So, yeah, we just kind of, you know, even how Niggas in Paris came together, like that beat was just in Kanye's email. Like, we didn't even, like, I don't think I ever heard Niggas in Paris in the studio with Jay and Ye. Like, I heard other songs we did that never saw the light of day, but Niggas in Paris was just a one-off, like, whatever for me, and it turned out to be. It's crazy because I probably had 20 plus platinum records since Niggas in Paris came out, and people still only think I did Niggas in Paris. That's how big that song is.